as a previous Bitcoin maxi, um, do you find it easier to sell the idea of tBTC to an Ethereum person or to a Bitcoin person? It doesn't have to be maxis in either world. Just what is it? Is it easier upsell for an Ethereum person or for a Bitcoin person?
I'd say much easier for Ethereum people for a number of reasons. I think like Ethereum people they have the perspective of the global economy that Ethereum is creating, and then you have like the Bitcoiner profile, which doesn't generally or acknowledge the broader ecosystem of crypto and the broader utility. And I think you said earlier, like where you started personally is Bitcoin Maxi, and even Ethereum at that time was a shitcoin, and something happened along the way. But I think Ethereum community generally, very open-minded, very experimental, and just wanting to invent new mechanisms and solve real-world problems. And I think Bitcoin solves its own problem, but there's a much more extensible use case for Bitcoin that I hope is never native on the Bitcoin protocol, because that would change the fundamental value proposition of Bitcoin personally. And I love that maxis exist and they're like, let's not change anything. And there are some things that I think, maybe we could change, like we could get opcat as a function, and that would create a lot of extensibility. But at the same time, like keeping it neutral and keeping it slow, I think is, you mentioned earlier, like even the wallets like taking so long to update. It's like, I do see that as a feature. Like, let's keep it slow and steady. Let's build that trust continuously, because frankly, like if there's something were to happen to Bitcoin, then the whole space would fall over, honestly, in my perspective. But yeah, Ethereum community, very open-minded, very optimistic. So much easier to convince them about the utility of Bitcoin and DeFi.